Hello and welcome to Audiobook 831. Please subscribe my channel for more videos.
Welcome to Audiobooks 831. Today, we explore the powerful wisdom from the Master Key System by Charles F. Haanel. This book reveals the hidden connection between thought, power, and reality. It teaches that every result in life is created first in the mind and then expressed in the external world. The key to success, wealth, and happiness lies within the ability to control and direct your thoughts. The mind is not just a thinking tool, but a creative force that shapes your entire life. When a person understands this power, they gain control over their future instead of being controlled by circumstances. The author explains that there are two levels of mind: the conscious and the subconscious. The conscious mind is responsible for thinking, choosing, and decision-making, while the subconscious mind accepts these thoughts and turns them into reality without question. This means that whatever thoughts you repeatedly focus on will eventually become your experience. If your thoughts are filled with fear, doubt, and negativity, your life will reflect those conditions. But if your thoughts are focused on confidence, success, and clarity, your life will begin to change in that direction. The subconscious mind does not judge, it simply responds and creates based on the instructions it receives from the conscious mind. This is why mental discipline is so important, because careless thinking leads to unwanted results, while controlled thinking leads to success. The Master Key System teaches that concentration is one of the most powerful abilities a person can develop. Most people allow their thoughts to wander without control, which weakens their mental power. But when a person learns to focus their mind on a single idea with clarity and persistence, they begin to activate the creative forces within them. Concentration directs energy, and where attention goes, energy flows. This focused energy begins to attract opportunities, ideas, and circumstances that align with the thought being held. The book emphasizes that success is not about working harder, but about thinking more effectively. A person who understands how to use their mind correctly can achieve more with less effort, because they are working in harmony with natural laws. Another important concept is visualization. The author explains that a clear mental image is essential for creating results. When you imagine a specific outcome in detail, you send a strong message to the subconscious mind. This image must be held consistently with belief and emotion, because emotion strengthens the impression on the subconscious. When the mind accepts the image as real, it begins to find ways to bring it into existence. This process may happen gradually, but it is always working in the background, shaping your actions, decisions, and opportunities. The law of attraction is also reflected in this teaching, because like attracts like, positive thoughts attract positive conditions, while negative thoughts attract negative conditions. This is not magic, but a natural law that operates through mental vibration and focus. The thoughts you hold determine the direction of your life. The Master Key System also highlights the importance of silence and inner awareness. The author suggests that true power comes from within and can only be accessed when the mind is calm and focused. When a person takes time to sit in silence and observe their thoughts, they begin to understand their mental patterns. This awareness allows them to eliminate negative thinking and replace it with constructive ideas. The practice of mental stillness strengthens concentration and increases clarity, making it easier to control the direction of thought. As a person continues practicing these principles, they begin to notice changes in their life. Opportunities appear more frequently, decisions become clearer, and confidence grows. This is because the mind is now working in alignment with purpose instead of confusion. The journey toward mastery requires patience and consistency, because the effects of disciplined thinking build over time. The person who continues practicing will eventually gain full control over their mental power, and this control leads to success in every area of life. In the deeper teachings of the Master Key System, the focus turns toward the practical application of mental power and the laws that govern success. The author explains that thought is not only a mental activity, but a force that has the ability to shape reality. When thoughts are repeated with clarity and purpose, they begin to influence the subconscious mind, which then works continuously to bring those thoughts into physical form. This process happens whether a person is aware of it or not, which means that every individual is constantly creating their own circumstances through their thinking patterns. For this reason, the first step toward success is becoming aware of your thoughts and taking full control over them. The mind must be trained to think only what is desired and to reject all forms of doubt, fear, and negativity. This requires discipline because the mind naturally tends to wander, but with consistent practice, it becomes easier to direct and control attention. The author emphasizes that concentration is the key to unlocking mental power. When a person focuses their mind on a single idea without distraction, they begin to harness energy that would otherwise be scattered. This focused energy strengthens the thought and increases its ability to influence the subconscious mind. The longer and more clearly a thought is held, the more powerful it becomes. Eventually, this power begins to manifest as opportunities, ideas, and external conditions that match the original thought. This is why successful individuals often appear to attract success effortlessly, because their minds are consistently focused on their goals. Another important principle discussed is the law of attraction, which states that like attracts like. The thoughts you hold create a certain mental vibration, and this vibration attracts similar conditions into your life. When a person thinks positively and focuses on success, they begin to attract people, opportunities, and situations that support their growth. On the other hand, negative thinking attracts obstacles, difficulties, and limitations. This law operates continuously and without exception, making it essential to maintain control over your mental state. The author explains that this is not a matter of belief, but a natural law just like gravity, and it works whether we understand it or not. The power of visualization is also explored in detail. Visualization is the process of creating a clear mental image of what you want to achieve. This image must be specific, detailed, and filled with emotion, because emotion strengthens the connection between the conscious and subconscious mind. When a person visualizes their goal regularly, the subconscious mind begins to accept it as reality and starts working to bring it into existence. This process influences behavior, decisions, and actions in ways that align with the desired outcome. Over time, the imagined reality begins to take physical form because the mind and body are working together toward the same objective. The author also introduces the concept of harmony, which plays a crucial role in success. Harmony means aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and actions with your goals. When there is conflict within the mind, progress becomes difficult because energy is divided. But when all aspects of the mind are working together, there is a smooth flow of energy that leads to faster and more effective results. This alignment creates confidence, clarity, and a sense of purpose, which further strengthens the ability to achieve success. Another key lesson is the importance of building strong mental habits. Habits are formed through repetition, and once established, they operate automatically. This means that by consistently practicing positive thinking, concentration, and visualization, a person can develop habits that support success. These habits make it easier to maintain focus and avoid negative thinking, because the mind becomes conditioned to operate in a certain way. The process of building these habits takes time, but the results are long-lasting and powerful. The teachings also emphasize that knowledge alone is not enough to create change. A person must apply what they learn in order to see results. This requires consistent effort and dedication, because change does not happen instantly. The individual must practice controlling their thoughts, focusing their mind, and visualizing their goals every day. As these practices become routine, the mind grows stronger and more disciplined, leading to greater control over life circumstances. The author explains that persistence is essential because many people give up before they begin to see results. But those who continue practicing eventually reach a point where their efforts start to produce visible changes. This is the moment when belief becomes stronger and motivation increases, creating a cycle of continued success. The concept of cause and effect is also central to this philosophy. Every thought is a cause and every condition is an effect. By changing the cause, which is thought, a person can change the effect, which is their life circumstances. This understanding removes the idea of luck or chance, because it shows that everything happens according to definite laws. When a person takes responsibility for their thoughts, they take control of their future. This realization is empowering because it means that success is not limited to a few individuals, but is available to anyone willing to apply these principles. The teachings of this system provide a clear path for transforming the mind and creating a life of success, abundance, and fulfillment through the intelligent use of thought. In the final teachings of the Master Key System, the understanding of mental power reaches its highest level, where thought becomes a conscious tool for creation rather than an uncontrolled habit. The author explains that true success is achieved when a person fully realizes their connection with the universal mind, which is the source of all power, intelligence, and creation. This universal mind operates through natural laws, and when an individual aligns their thinking with these laws, they gain the ability to create desired results with greater certainty and control. This alignment requires awareness, discipline, and a deep understanding of how thought influences reality. The individual must learn to eliminate all forms of doubt, fear, and limitation, because these negative patterns block the flow of creative energy. When the mind is clear, focused, and confident, it becomes a powerful channel through which ideas, opportunities, and success begin to flow freely. The author emphasizes that the greatest obstacle to success is not external conditions, but internal resistance. Many people unknowingly limit themselves through negative beliefs and habitual thinking patterns. These limitations act as barriers that prevent progress regardless of external opportunities. To overcome this, the individual must consciously replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones. This process involves repetition, focus, and emotional engagement, because the subconscious mind responds strongly to thoughts that are consistently reinforced with feeling. As these new beliefs take root, they begin to influence behavior, decisions, and actions, creating a new direction in life. The teaching also highlights the importance of purpose. A person must have a clear and definite goal, because without direction, mental energy becomes scattered and ineffective. When the mind is focused on a specific objective, it begins to organize thoughts, actions, and resources toward achieving that goal. This creates a sense of direction and motivation, which increases productivity and efficiency. The clearer the purpose, the stronger the mental focus, and the greater the results achieved. The author explains that success is not a random event, but the natural outcome of applying these principles consistently. The concept of gratitude is also introduced as a powerful force that strengthens the connection between the individual and the universal mind. Gratitude creates a positive mental state that attracts more positive conditions into life. When a person appreciates what they already have, they shift their focus from lack to abundance, and this shift opens the door to greater opportunities. This positive state of mind enhances creativity, improves decision-making, and increases resilience during challenges. The practice of gratitude, therefore, becomes an essential habit for maintaining a strong and balanced mindset. The teachings further explain that true power lies in the ability to act with confidence and certainty. Once a person has developed clear thinking, strong belief, and a definite purpose, they must take action that aligns with their vision. Action is the bridge between thought and reality, and without it, even the most powerful ideas remain unrealized. The individual must act consistently and intelligently, using their knowledge to make decisions that move them closer to their goals. This combination of thought and action creates momentum, which accelerates progress and leads to visible results over time. The importance of persistence is again emphasized, because success often requires continuous effort. Many people lose motivation when results are not immediate, but the author explains that the process of creation takes time and patience. The individual who remains committed to their vision continues moving forward regardless of temporary setbacks. They trust the principles they are applying and maintain their focus until the desired results appear. This persistence strengthens character, builds confidence, and ultimately leads to success. The final message of the Master Key System is that every individual has the ability to create their own reality through the intelligent use of thought. When a person understands this truth, they no longer feel limited by circumstances, because they recognize that the power to change lies within them. By controlling their thoughts, focusing their mind, and acting with purpose, they can shape their life according to their desires. This realization transforms the way a person approaches challenges, opportunities, and success itself. The journey toward mastery is ongoing, but each step brings greater awareness, control, and fulfillment. This is Audiobooks 831. Thank you for listening to this audiobook. If you found these teachings valuable, remember that knowledge becomes powerful Only when it is applied, take control of your thoughts, focus on your goals, and act with purpose. Subscribe to Audiobooks 831 for more powerful audiobooks, and continue your journey toward success, abundance, and self-mastery.